Hello, once again. Welcome to everybody in the social media world and the internet world. This is Brian, creator, administrator, and moderator of Brian Speaks On, the channel you can find on YouTube and on Facebook under the same name. I am here today to talk about something that's a little more lighthearted than what I normally talk about. Kind of want to take a little breather from the all the seriousness that's going on in the world, even though I do want to talk about a serious subject. But I want to talk about something serious, but in a more lighthearted manner. As most people know who watch the channel, who have bothered, I tend to start with a springboard topic and kind of try to jump into a more broader range topic using a specific instance. Today is going to be more about relationships, and the good thing about relationships is that this is something that can be universally talked about and recognized and acknowledged and understood, relatable. So this is not something that's going to be a cultural issue or a race issue or anything like that. So what I wanted to talk about though is what I've been noticing primarily on social media, but in circles, as it applies to this generation, the younger generation here, it feels like the definition of being in a real relationship, like a real deal relationship, seems to have, changed with this generation. Now, that's something that can be applied to every single generation, throughout time. So I can't sit here and be on my old school judgmental high horse talking about the younger kids and stuff like that. But what I do want to offer are some pointers or some thinking points. I'll put it that way, thinking points that may help some people, have a better understanding of whether they're in a real deal relationship. Because people are promoting themselves as being in a real deal relationship, and there are certain things that they still don't even know or understand about the partner that they're with. So again, when I'm talking about real relationships, I mean people who are either living together, on that road, either if you're not living together, but you're in a real straight up committed relationship. So I wanted to point out some things that I think may be missing, that you might want to question or ask yourself, do I know these things? Am I familiar with this stuff? And if not, does that mean that I'm not in a real relationship? Oh my God. Now, this is all subjective, so this is my specific list of, subjective points. So it's not like you have to listen to me, what I'm saying? It's not like I'm a relationship expert or somebody that you should be listening to, Dr. Phil or Steve Harvey. But I just figured, let me just throw my little 2 cents into the mix and hopefully help a couple of people out there. So here are my bullet points of things that you should be looking towards to see and test if whether or not you're in the relationship that you believe that you're in. Now again, if you don't have some of these or all of these bullet points, doesn't mean that you're not in a real relationship. It just means that for me, if they lacked, for me specifically, I would, be looking into, getting these things updated. You know what I'm saying? Oh wow, it's just like certain things you point out and you go, oh wow, I never thought about that. So that's just this is my way of saying, let me see if I can help a couple of people out. So now this doesn't go in any particular order, and some points are just really, really lighthearted points, but some are actually pretty serious. So I want to start off by asking, do you know your significant other's mailing address if y'all don't live together? Now, when I say mailing address, I'm not just talking about, I can tell you where they live. I can tell you what street they're on and what bus gets you there. Do you know their mailing address? If you had to mail them an actual letter, another thing do you know your significant other's credit score? Any of the 3? Any of them? It's kind of a big deal when you get married, or when you unite. as a couple, to know each other's credit score, because one affects the other. Believe me, I've learned that through experience. One that's a little bit more serious. Do you know your significant other's blood type? You know? As we get older, and again, we're talking about being in a real relationship, you know, you want to be together. You know, that might come to, you know, be important at some point. One that's a little bit more lighthearted, but worth asking. Do you know your significant other's middle name? You know, like sometimes people just don't know that. Yo, it's kind of, you'd be surprised. Now, do you know your significant other's location to where they work? Now again, all right, I'm not going to go as hard as saying, do you know their work mailing address? But do you know the actual location of where they work at? You know, can you say, oh, well, I know it's somewhere downtown in the middle of whatever? Or do you actually know, like, if you had to go to their job on some, you know, emergency stuff, do you know where they actually work? Now, here's one that's a little, it's lighthearted, but it's very important. Do you know your significant other's go-to in the clutch dinner? Like, I'm talking like, you know, you don't know what to make. Y'all done ate all the chicken y'all gonna eat, and you want to do something different. Do you know what the go-to in the clutch, you know, one night dinner is for your significant other? It's important. You should know that. Do you know what insurance your significant other has? What insurance? Not only what insurance. Do they have health insurance, life insurance, car insurance, flood insurance, whatever. Do you know which insurance companies that they're involved with, you know? Because again, in a serious long-term relationship, God forbid something happens, somebody gets hurt and you know, they're injured or whatever, you might want to know what insurance they have. If they're, you know, if they're like incapacitated or something like that and they can't speak for themselves. Do you know your significant other's 401k contributions? Do you know if they have a 401k? How many? What is, you know, what the deal is with that, and why not, if not? And what other companies are they invested with? And it doesn't have to be specifically through a 401. You know, they could be down one of them pyramid schemes or something. You know, they might be down with Amway or, you know, something. Please don't sue me, Amway. Do you know if your significant other has any major debts? You know, sometimes people don't find out until you're in there for real, in there, that people got some type of wild credit debt, or, you know, some type, you know, they got somebody hounding them. And again, once you become a couple, that becomes your problem too on some level. You know, they start hounding. And my last bullet point, and I'll end it on a cool note, is, but this is important, especially for us guys, ladies. You know, do you know your significant other's favorite all-time show, and or do you know their favorite all-time fictional character? Now, again, ladies, that's important, man. Like, you need to know who I roll with, you know, all time. You know, my you know, you need to know that Batman is my dude. You know, you need to know that. Me and Bruce Wayne. Like, if you don't know that, you don't know me. So, again, I am doing this in an attempt to be lighthearted. Although these things are important in the grand scheme of things. These are small things, but little things add up in a relationship. And it's the little things that you're supposed to love about a person in the overall scheme, if you dig what I'm saying. I've come to love and appreciate all the little things that I have with my significant other, and she loves, you know, all the little things about me, but we're still learning too. You know, you never stop learning, and I think that's the learning lesson of the day, is that you never stop learning with a person, but you should always be looking to learn. Like, you don't get content. Contentment is the first stage of the end, in my opinion. Once you do that, once you become content and you get comfortable and you get lax, then things start fading, you know, and you don't want that to happen. You want to always keep things fresh. You want to always learn as much as you can about the person that you're really with. And, you know, but it's all part of the beautiful experience that is sharing a world together. And with that, I wish everybody well. I wish us all prosperity and blessings and all that good stuff. And if you like my video, you know, let me know. And thanks for the support, whether you say anything or you don't. Okay, much appreciated. Bless up.